me. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me.
So now let's start from the styling. The styling is reminiscent of the Super Duke 1290. So when they introduced it, they highlighted the fact that this gets the Super Duke style, and yes, it becomes even better now because now they've given it the same headlamp as that of the Duke 390, which improves the visuals, improves the value proposition, improves the overall equipment as such that you get with the Duke 250. Also, you also get a metal tank. You get a steel tank, 13.7 liter larger capacity tank, which really comes in handy if you want to tour with the bike. You can slap on a magnetic tank bag on top of it, and also fit and finish wise, build quality wise, it's always better. Also, we get best in class 320mm front disc, which is the same unit that we find in the Duke 390. So that also improves the overall initial bite of the brake and offers better lever feel when you slap on the brakes or drop the anchor. So this is one thing that you can rejoice about. Another thing is the differences between the Duke 390 and the Duke 250, which seem to be a little subtle, because when the looks are matching and almost identical, people start to wonder what is the differences. First of all, you don't get the TFT console that we get with the Duke 390 in the Duke 250. We still get the LCD unit that we find in the 125 and the Duke 200. So secondly, you also don't get the quick shifter plus. You don't get a quick shifter, nor do we get an auto blipper. So you can't do clutchless upshifts or downshift like you can do with the Duke 390. Another thing that you need to note are the tires. So thankfully gone are those days of short supply for the Metzeler's and the Pirellis. So now the Duke 390s are back with the Metzeler tires, something that they deserve. But the Duke 250 doesn't get the Metzelers like the 390. It instead gets MRF radial tires, which are good enough, which offer good tread pattern, better water channeling capabilities, good road grip on wet surfaces, but can't match the excellence of the Metzelers. But still, it can do the job for you. So this is the differences between, these are the differences between the Duke 390 and the Duke 250. Apart from that, everything else remains the same. We get WP Apex suspension, front and rear, 43mm USD forks up front, same that you find in the flagship naked sport bikes like the 890. You get the same unit here. Also, you get WP Apex rear monoshock, which also improves the handling and takes the maneuverability and the capability of the motorcycle to a completely different level. Chassis structure, it is the split trellis frame structure which got introduced with the restyled Duke lineage or Duke bloodline. So you have the front frame and the rear frame. The rear frame is bolted onto the front part of the frame, so the weight distribution is better, the stability is better, the handling is better, and also just in case you damage only the rear part of the frame, you don't have to change the entire trellis frame altogether. You can change only the rear part of the frame. The subframe can be changed, thereby reducing the ownership cost or the maintenance cost, which is really good. So the aluminum swing arm not only looks beautiful, it works in conjunction with the rear monoshock to offer supreme agility and great handling characteristics, something that is unparalleled even to this day in this segment. Another thing is the seating. The seats again got better cushioning and better foam quality and more space with the revised styling that the Duke got. So this is no different. You get the same spacious seat for the rider, an easily accessible seat for the pillion, even if you want to ride along with your partner, your friend. So it's not going to be too much of a hassle because the rear seat is easily accessible and well padded with good cushioning, so long distances can be covered comfortably. And now coming to the performance, as I told you, the power plant is a 250cc single cylinder liquid cooled fuel injected engine that puts out around 30 PS of max power and 24 Newton meters of max torque. The gear ratios are well matched. You get a 6-speed gearbox. This is undeniably the most refined KTM bike currently available in our market. Be it the 390 or the 200, they're not as refined as the 250. I mean, it's refined right from the word go all the way to the top end, from the low end to the mid range to the top end. It feels very refined and butter smooth, and that's what makes riding all the more pleasurable, all the more enjoyable. And even while hitting around 142 for the top speed test, it was rock solid. It was very refined, willing to go ahead, and I had to just cut down on the speed because the road was running out. Now coming to the most important point, the pricing. Priced at 2,37,000 ex-showroom, it's not the absolute value for money proposition that the Duke stood for when it was first launched. The price increments, the constant price hikes really now have made it on par with other competition or other rivals that are available in the 300 in the quarter liter to 300cc segment. And that is where you have to choose whether you want that proper precision style corner rocket or you want a more comfortable relaxed ride that you want to use on daily commutes. So this is for the enthusiast who wants to push the bike to its limits, test the boundaries of the limits of the motorcycle and push his or her riding skills to the limits as well, while becoming one unstoppable force with the Duke. So this was about the 2023 KTM Duke 250. Now let's not waste any more time, let's go ahead and check out my motovlog ride impression. Okay guys, I am back with the Orange Beast, the Duke 250. This is the 2023 Galvano Black. I personally like the Ebony Black. I'll try to feature it when it's available. Special thanks to Abhinandan Bajaj, Vinod Anna for allowing me to review this bike for you guys. I did get a lot of requests to feature the 2023 model, so finally here it is. Not much of change. The same tried and tested quarter liter 250cc engine, tried and tested fuel injected liquid cooled engine, 30 bhp, 24 newton meters. And yeah, let's go for a quick fire run and let's see what this thing is truly made up of, what makes this a refined beast. So managed around 137, so I'm sure it can make it up to 140 as well, and that's what makes the Duke 250 such a champion engine. I mean, it's not overkill power, it's just the right kind of power that you come hoping for from a quarter liter naked sport bike. And the brakes are good. It now comes with 320mm front disc, so that's a really good inclusion. And it's extremely refined. This is undeniably one of the finest, most refined motors from KTM made available here in India. Yeah, it comes with Supermoto ABS, which means you can turn off ABS in the rear wheel. It comes with a slipper clutch, which means works like a back torque limiter, prevents the rear wheel from locking and hopping while doing faster downshifts. And everything else is spot on. WP Apex suspension, front and rear. You have carbon coated cam followers to make sure the engine life is better. And I mean, the more you rev it, the more it feels at ease. I mean, these engines are built to be rev the hell out of these guys, and that's what KTM beasts are all about. The Orange Beast wants to scream and squeal and yell at the top of its voice and top of its lungs, because that's what it's meant for, to unleash the beast within. And it's such a brilliant handler. I mean, it's so easy to handle. The chassis is so perfectly done. It's like, you can't find flaws with it, you can't find faults with it. It's so damn perfect, especially the new chassis geometry with a bolt-on subframe. Made sure that the weight distribution is perfect, the mass centralization is right on the money. Even the side mounted exhaust tries to compensate and add on to the mass centralization concept and gives you amazing handling characteristics. And then you also have the aluminum swing arm, one of the most beautiful swing arms that got introduced in our market, and it does the job while tackling corners or while doing direction changes. Everything happens in a flash. I mean, it's just born to rule the streets. This thing is just about perfect. Oh, let's see. I'm sure we can touch 140 this time around. Full throttle. Woo-hoo-hoo. Wow, that was amazing. That was explosive power, and that's what I like about the 250. It feels effortless, it feels refined, it's like a refined beast. But yeah, 2,37,000 ex-showroom, and that's a very good package still, despite the price hikes and the price increments. It still makes sense to get this because there's nothing like it. Such a brilliant handling machine, such a joy to ride the 250 every time you get an opportunity, man. It simply annihilates the competition, be it on the streets, be it on the highway. The stability is rock solid. You can see around 142 kilometers per hour. It can push further as well, maybe reach up to 150 post the first service and the second service, and still it has wanting to move, gonna go further, propel further, reach higher. That's the beastly nature lurking underneath this sophisticated beast, the Duke 250. The brakes are right on the money. Suspension really complements the character of the bike, and I am continuing to fall in love with a quarter liter naked. That's always been the darling of the masses. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I just hope it answers all your questions. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, God bless, and ride safe.